checking the range on Inspire Courage. It's 60 feet, so that's good. So I'm gonna move to here for my first action, for the hasted action. Then what can I do here? Then I will play Lingering Composition, Inspire Courage. So I'm gonna roll performance.
Success.
Okay, so that's 3 turns. Inspire Courage. Okay, and then oops. Then I'm going to use Demoralize on the Chiruka that they're currently flanking.
Okay. How are you demoralizing it?
With
your...
performance.
What are you playing?
Oh my god. Shitty music apparently. I don't know if that succeeds or not, but
You do not demoralize this thing.
okay, so I have 2 more actions. For my the target's creature within 30 feet of distance. Okay, then I'm gonna use a kinetic ram on the creature on the tree right now. The 2 action kinetic ram. So he has to do a save.
Yeah, I'm just seeing though if you'd be able to do that because he's 20 feet up in whatever distance away from you.
Oh, it might like. What's the
because
distance
well,
for this?
Could you use that other one you got to just yank him right out of the tree?
He's 25, 30 feet away and 20 feet up. So I mean, I think that would be.
Oh, right, okay.
You
Okay,
could
so maybe
hit the tree he's in to try to do something, maybe, but.
Right. Okay.
Tree.
Well, what I'm gonna do now, I'll just do a Bon Mot and then a Demoralize on him then for my remaining 2 actions. So,
on the one in the tree?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead then.
Shit. Let me pull up Bon Mot here. Forgot what I had to roll for that.
What was your range there?
Yeah. Diplomacy, right?
He was 30 feet away and then still 20 feet up.
Yeah, Pythagoras means he's 36 feet away from you.
Yikes.
Oh.
That's okay. Hey, get them all out of the way early.
Bon Mot, and then this is for the Demoralize, this next roll.
Okay, just a regular Demoralize?
Yeah, just a regular. There we go.
Alright, so you attempt to insult him? Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, no, I use my instrument to try and scare him with some scary music.
With some scary music?
Scary, loud music.
With your lute?
Yeah.
So you are just barely successful. He's never seen a goblin play an instrument before, so he's quite confused.
Okay, and then that's it for my turn.
Vega.
Well, I will dispel my weapon. with the acid I just used, so it just adds to the damage. And I'll take a shot with my bow.
Wassel, hold on a second. Can add that to you. So you're bespelling it with acid, which is what type of spell is that? Well, there it goes. It adds it anyway.
Yeah, it adds it on, right?
It should now, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
So is that extra? Let's see. Bespell weapon. Yeah, the 1d6.
Yeah, the 1d6 extra.
And that was your bow, right? So,
Yeah.
fly an arrow up at this one in the trees, yes?
Yeah.
So you fling an arrow up into the trees and you are affirmed that you hit your target when you hear a loud yelp from somewhere in the canopy.
Alright, and then I will cast Mage Armor on myself. Give myself a little lacy buff.
You do a mage armor, not a shield, right?
Yeah, not shield, just Mage Armor. There we go. And that's my 3.
Right, Sir Durwin?
Alright, I'm going to attack the monkey that's right beside me. Okay, sweet.
So you pound him in the head with your hammer, and he looks dazed as he is being onslaught by you and Drez.
Alright, I'll go for another attack. Miss, and put up my shield.
Right, he leaps up on top of your hammer that time and taunts you guys. So this fellow in the tree tops moves just a little closer. Let's see here. Yeah, he takes one little climb closer in the trees and he flings a spear at you, Neji.
Well, at least it wasn't poop.
I'm sorry, it is poop. No. He at
He
first
rubbed the poop on the spear first.
He at first flings a trident at you. Frustrated, he does produce some other type of projectile and flings a handful of it at you.
That would provoke from me.
Luckily, you miss, or you dodge out of the way. Yes. What was your retributive strike? It hits from that far away.
15 feet. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize it was the monkey in the trees. My bad. It's 15 feet though.
Okay. Alright, so his companion now takes a turn. He loses his frightened condition. And this one here doesn't know who to attack first, but he turns around rather, and tries to attack the newest thing that has entered his vision. He is going to try to pummel you, Drez, with his little monkey fists.
Get fucked, Banana Boy.
So, wounded, he can't seem to make any connection with the rogue here. And now, it's your turn to take retribution.
Yes.
I aim my dagger right between his ribs, hoping to puncture his heart. And I stab.
Well, your thing only triggers on a hit, right? Or is it an attack?
An attack. Your enemy or damages your ally or both in 15 feet of you. You projectile your strikes.
Yeah,
your foe.
damages. Is that what he said?
Yeah, but then I would still have my attack of opportunity though.
If
You
you
know, if are his attacks manipulate actions? If they're not manipulate actions, it wouldn't trigger that attack of opportunity.
the fist attack, I'm not sure.
Pretty sure.
Doesn't have the manipulate trait.
Like if he had made a ranged attack,
But just his might
absolutely it would.
his might trigger for all. Some of them are a little different, depends on where it comes from. No, it's the same.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it didn't trigger the retribution because he didn't actually damage him. He tried to attack him, but he didn't damage him. So Drez stabs this thing and smiles at you slyly. He is barely hanging on. You can tell he is gasping for breath.
I bring the dagger back around for another strike, hoping to make a kill.
So you once again stab this thing in its other side, connecting and puncturing its other lung, and it lets out a final gasp as it falls to the ground dead.
Ook, ook, bitch.
Wow.
I've still got one action, don't I?
Yes.
All right. What's the range on Demoralize?
I believe it's 30 feet.
Yeah, 30 feet. Okay, so let's see here. I would not be able to hit him with that. Probably my best bet here is just to move and get in position in case I need to do something. So I'm just gonna move right up here, close to Neji, for my final action.
All right. Neji.
Okay. What can I do here? Oh. I'm going to move to here. I should be able to hit him with a 30-foot spell, range spell from here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I will do Kinetigram. 2-action Kinetigram. Oh, fuck.
So he's grown up in trees. He is not moved by your ramming.
I'm done.
Fireball. Oh, Vega. You're muted.
Sorry, I'm muted. I don't want to waste any of my spells on this guy. So I'll just take a shot with my bow again.
So you take aim and you plunge an arrow into this thing.
And then I will also move. Put me 30 feet away. Oh, I guess I better be a little closer because he's in the tree. And I will intimidating glare demoralize him.
All right. Roll your intimidation.
Awesome.
He is not afraid.
And I believe that's the end of my actions.
So, Sir Durwin, your quarry is up a tree. What will you do, sir? Can you throw that hammer?
No, I'm not Thor yet. I guess I'm just going to move and try and demoralize him, or that's all I can really do.
Anybody have a grappling hook and some rope? Maybe try to yank him out of the tree.
Outlaws.
Can an ever-burning torch set things on fire if it generates no heat?
I would assume no. But then again, I'm not a magician or a scientist.
I go rawr.
They are unafraid. They've seen more intimidating things in the jungle.
I will
than a
just have
kobold.
my shield raised as well then. And then that'll be my end of my turn.
Okay.
According to Google, no, it cannot set things on fire.
I mean, no heat. I would assume not.
Yeah, apparently it's just an illusion that looks like fire and provides a light
It
source.
gives off light. Yeah. All right. This guy is getting a little scared, and he flings just 3 handfuls of the nastiest Charuka feces.
All of them at Neji too. Man, he must not like you.
Well, he is just the closest he's the one he sees in the trees, so he misses everyone. But now the area right around Neji is just covered in Charuka
Fucking
poo-poo.
gross.
So I assume it's difficult terrain now.
For Neji to move out of that, it's going to cost him double. Or he could just get the poo-poo on him. Sure, nothing bad would happen in the jungle from having feces on you.
Well, I don't think I could hit him with a dagger from here, so I am going to attempt yet another demoralize on him. Man, we have got bad demoralize rolls tonight.
Just not scared of you.
Having failed to do that, I am going to move 30 feet into the trees, and I would now like to use my last action to attempt to hide again.
Have all 4 of us failed to demoralize this guy?
I believe so.
I got him once.
He is immune for 10 minutes.
From being attempted to demoralize.
I think it's per person, isn't it?
Is it successful? If it's successful,
I think it's if you
it's
try to attempt, period.
oh, just period. Well, then stop him.
Regardless of the result, the target is temporarily immune to demoralize for 10 minutes.
So there you go.
Oh, it's everyone. Okay, so it's demoralized in general. Oh shit. I guess that sucks.
So that's why you all failed. No. Neji.
Well, I'm just gonna do an electric arc, I guess.
So he attempts to dodge out of the way of the electric bolts flying his way, but he does not. And
Look at those rolls. I rolled 2 1s on those rolls.
you zap him for 12 damage.
And then for my next action, I'm just gonna move behind Sir Duskslayer, doing my best to avoid the poop on the ground.
Acrobatics check.
Well, it's just double to move out of there. So Vega, your quarry is still up the same tree in the same spot. What will you
Well, I
do?
will follow suit and electric arc this guy.
Alright, so let me get him. Hold on 1 second. Doing something. So he tries to dodge out of the way once again. This time with success, but he can't avoid all of it. Roll your damage, sir. And he takes half of a lightning bolt, which zaps him, and he lets out a little shriek.
And then I use my last action to fire my longbow at him.
Alright.
That's a map, right? Is casting a spell?
Does it? No, it doesn't have attack trait, so no.
No? Okay, perfect.
Yeah. See, it does have that manipulate trait, so that like triggers reactions. It has to. See, I don't think attacks trigger reactions because they don't have that manipulate trait like your spell does. Ranged attacks do, which I guess makes sense, right? Because if you're lifting up a crossbow, you wouldn't be able to defend yourself necessarily. But so you fire an arrow, and he's so squirrely from dodging electric bolts that he's able to get out of the way.
And that's the end of me.
Sir Durwin, fling that hammer, son.
Next level. So I'm going to use my Cobalt Breath to fire at him. Electric arc. Just find it.
It's a 30-foot cone, right?
30-foot line.
30-foot line.
Yeah.
Put that in your Pythagorean quantifier. He's 15 feet away. It's 20 feet up. Does he have to walk closer? I think he
There you
probably
go.
would. Like right here.
Okay.
Alright, we'll do the math here quick. So, square root of 625. 25 feet away from where he's at right now.
So that works.
Yeah.
All right. Then I will do it. D4 level damage.
Against your class DC or your spell DC, which should be
Spell
about the same. What's your spell DC?
Plus 14.
What? It's got to be higher than that, right? Yeah,
No,
it's 23.
no.
It's the same as your class
23.
DC. Yeah. All right, so he's got a reflex save then. Wow, GG.
Yeah.
But he still takes
Son
half.
of a bitch.
Yeah.
Click that button. Right here.
So 4 damage.
So he takes a little bit of electrical damage. And you must wait 2 rounds to breathe again.
Okay. And I'll just keep my shield up then.
Alright.
That'll be the end of my turn.
Hey, question. If a target is flat-footed, do they take penalties against fortitude, reflex, and will saves, or no?
I don't think so.
All right.
I think it's only to AC, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think
It's
it's
only
AC.
yeah. So fixating now on the golden kobold who just breathed electricity at him. This little guy jumps down from the treetops and moves forward just 1 step in doing so, and once again flings something at the little kobold man. However, it flies right over him and once again lands in the square where Neji's standing. Drez, can you kill this thing?
I
Come on, man.
move
I'm so bored.
silently through the trees right behind it. Has it noticed me? Is it flat-footed?
It does not notice you creep up behind it.
I take the opportunity to stab it in the back, dreaming of all the different types of warm weather clothing I can make out of its pelt. Ooh. Get fucked.
So with tremendous surprise, you come up behind it and you stab it right in the heart, and it falls to the ground dead and bleeding, ending this encounter.
I'm gonna go and pull 2 of my 2 arrows out of his body.
Fair enough. So hold on a second. So this encounter ends right here. Oh, there we go. And you are now not engaged any longer, so you're kind of back to exploration, taking turns in order of the player list. You notice that even though that thing rang a little bell, so far nothing has happened. Nothing has come around. For this encounter against these 3 Tarukas, you're all going to receive 90 XP. And receive a hero point for not letting any alarm situation get out of hand.
Oh. Sweet.
Should we check out the barracks here?
Yes.
See a
I
door.
want to quickly lay on hands myself, because I'm a little hurt.
And before we start moving again, I would like to hide.
Okay. You start.
I'll do a
trying to
refocus.
hide some?
I'm going to
You-
refocus while you guys are doing that.
You're
gotta
laying
focus
hands on yourself.
Yeah.
All right, that's resolved.
I'm just going to go ahead.
You're
and
gonna
walk this way a
spend.
little
You're gonna
bit.
spend 10 minutes.
Yeah, to refocus.
Hold on. The clock's not running again. Let me try to fix that.
If you're going to do that, then I'll pray while you do that to get my focus point back then.
Hold on. What's it not right? Oh, I gotta click start. All right, so 10 minutes you said to refocus?
Yeah.
10 minutes to refocus. So, just to remind you, the fire pit lays before you, unmanned now. As you get a little bit closer, you can smell what is familiar to pretty much all of you as the smell of roasting pig. They seem to be doing a in the ground roasting technique because it's all covered up.
Ooh.
You can notice just over the ridge in the belly of the mine here, something familiar to you all, a gleaming dragon pillar. You can just see the top of it.
How far is the drop down into the mine?
It is far enough that you would need to scale it. You're not able to ascertain from where you're standing right at the moment. And it would probably be unwise to just walk up to the edge of there. But judging from the top of the dragon pillar, right, is not sticking like up out of the mine. So judging from where you are standing and how you see the dragon pillar, you can be sure it's probably more than 30 feet down.
So if we hug the edge of the wall as we're going down, he won't see us for a little bit there, I think, right?
I don't
mean,
think so.
I can negate 25 feet of fall damage, so if we can get to a point that's only like that, I can just jump right down. But we might have to go around the rim a little bit till we get to a place like that.
Alright, well, let's check out the houses or the barracks first. Then let's head down. Or do you guys want to eat some roasted pig?
I would do a perception check on it first just to make sure that it's actually pig.
And not angel?
Yeah, or human, or goblin buttholes, or
Alright.
is the game paused? It won't let me do anything, but I don't
Yeah,
see
it's
the pause
paused.
message either.
No,
Yeah,
it's not. It's not paused. No. Why can't you do anything?
Every time I try to
won't let me
move, it
move.
just pings or tells me I can't do something because the game is paused.
It says
But
you cannot take this action while the game is currently paused. And there we go.
and it's working now.
Oh, it's paused again.
Now it's paused. Now it's unpaused.
No, it wasn't paused. That's weird. So, geez, as you just bum rush into this place, you notice that these sick beds are not unoccupied, and there seems to be several creatures lying in them.
Fireball.
Yeah, may as well.
They're sick beds. Maybe a recall knowledge might be.
Or a perception check, I guess, would be a good idea. To
Yeah.
see.
I will roll a perception check to see if I recognize what these things are.
Okay. So, creeping from the bushes, a place that you are very accustomed to, you notice that the boggards laying in these beds seem to be both guards and patients, as they are all yellowish in color and afflicted, much like the kobolds you met very early on in your exploration of the Mwangi, before you met your sorcerer and champion companions, who told you they had become sickened while mining gold for the Cinder Claws.
Oh, so these are the slaves.
Well, no, it just said they're guards. How do you guys feel about throwing fireballs at guards that may not be able to defend themselves? Your consciences panging you any at that?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm mostly okay with it if they're guards.
Yeah, if there's cinder claws, I think I'm okay with it.
I'm ambivalent. I don't care either way.
I also noticed, if you guys have not seen it yet, there's a path through the trees here with a clearing with a lot of bones in it. If anybody wants to take a look at that.
I say we take care of the guards first, and let me take a look at that. Some creature might pop out.
Works for me.
All right. Right before the fireball, I would like to run right up there so I can get a little bit of a head start. That's okay with you guys?
The rest of y'all want to move up to like the tree line, maybe right around in here somewhere, just so we don't have to move so far if we don't completely annihilate everything.
Fair enough. I'll get up there first.
I'm gonna also cast my my trigger, Mary, shadow projectile.
I'll get right before the thing. Sweet.
Hold on. So as you two come clunking through the trees, they see you, and they all spring up from their beds with their weapons drawn. And you all will be engaged by them now.
And then I'll target the one to the north for my demoralize.
Up here, the top one.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh. That critically scares him. And he is frightened too. So, with that, you guys are engaged by these things.
Did my fireball hit, or we wait until I get to my turn?
Well, they noticed them before you cast your fireball, because they moved down as you cast it. Is that what you guys were saying? Or what was the sequence of events?
Yeah, they were supposed to be moving down right before I cast it, so that's
right,
fine then.
right before? Okay, yeah. That's what I thought you said. So yeah, they noticed them and put you all in combat here.
Okay.
All right. Well, I am going to attempt to move stealthily from the cover of these trees here to the cover of these trees here. And that's going to take all my actions.
Well, so back here when you stepped out would have been a check. So let's see. Okay, so you are over there hiding still and moving there stealthily and hiding, right? Yes. All right, so letting out a huge cough. This thing is obviously in no type of shape to to really do anything, and it seems reluctant really to do much. In fact, in its frightened condition, it steps around its bed. It steps right here, and it opens up this. It opens up this door right here with its last action. This one in line, however, does not cough. It seems to be in a little bit better shape, and at least somewhere thinks that its duty is important. And let's see what she tries to do. It must have been in a battle or two, because it targets Neji, or at least it seems to, with its cold stare as it casts a ray of frost at you. So your body all of a sudden grows extremely cold, and you take 6 cold damage. With that, he takes 1 step forward. Vega.
Alright, well, we'll do the fireball now.
Alright.
Need reflex saves.
And I'll
Yeah,
follow
can
that
you-
up with my trigger, Mary.
Can you put it in the chat
Yeah.
for me? I meant the fireball too.
Second. Just clicked off of it.
So we'll do the resolve the fireballs first here.
Ouch.
Three crit fails.
Alright, so they all burn, and you just hear what can only be described as the screams of frog kind, as they all take some degree of burning from this horrible fireball on them. Some of them are easily burned alive, and those are the ones that smell the worst. You all, even though none of you are necessarily trained in alchemy, catch the distinct scent, and I gotta roll for this guy in the back. The distinct scent of arsenic as some of these get burnt up. And roll for this guy that's out of line.
That was a good fireball.
Yes.
Alright, so these two unfortunate souls also feel their minds get attacked with a shadow projectile. Another fireball comes flying at them, at least in their own perception. And one of them steels his mind against such attacks. However, one of them is not so lucky. And he takes more damage from a mental fireball and screams as he falls down to the ground. His companion there looking on, just in shock because he doesn't see any flames himself.
You guys want to try diplomacy now? Don't be alarmed. We come in peace.
That wasn't us.
I saw the guys that did it. They took off that way.
So that's it for you, right, Vega?
I got one more action, actually.
One more.
I will fire my bow at the last guy. See if I can go ahead and kill it.
Ooh. What?
I'd say yes.
All right, so you fire an arrow at this guy and plunk him right in the head, and his charred body falls over dead. Ending this encounter for the moment. For defeating all of these sickened creatures, you will receive 60 XP. So add that real quick before we forget.
Wow, I really thought that was going to be a little bit of a longer battle because I have to let my dog out. And I was going to do my turn and then quickly run out.
You need to do that? You want to take a break? I need something to drink. You want to take 2
Okay.
minutes right here?
Sure,
Yeah,
I'll
use
just
one
have
too.
my headphones on and switch my Discord to my phone. So I may be out for about 10 minutes. You
Okay.
can just move my
Well, I'll pause it till I get back. If everybody wants to grab a drink or go to the bathroom or something. And yeah, we'll get back into it.
Back and forth.
Cool. Yo.
Realized it was water, not needing to go out to the washroom.
Word.
Sorry, I'm back. Yeah, short round one, best supporting actor at the Oscars.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
I mean, I'm just assume that movie's gonna clean up everything, right?
Yeah, probably. I'll bet you, Michelle Yeoh's gonna win an award as well.
No.
Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis won Best Supporting Actress for the same movie.
Yeah. Well, and it's already won like all the Guild awards and everything.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, like all the other movies that have done that same thing, right?
Yeah.
Went on to sweep.
Oh, Best Director. Yeah, it's pretty much swept it.
I'm back.
Hold on, I need to reload just so I can wigging up my end here. Let's see, that's better. Yeah, let me move you, dude. There we go. There was something about being in those trees that was weird. Alright, so the effects of your scouting wear off, and other things from the encounter have worn off. You are now confronted with a row of beds here, no longer occupied. They are just they're not really beds in the sense of a civilized society. They're just filthy reed mats, and they're encrusted with all kinds of slime and sweat. Like I say, they were set here seemingly as a guard duty, but these guys were also infirm, it seems like. You can peer into the bunkhouse that they opened, maybe trying to retreat into, and see even more beds. Looks quite run down, but as you peer into it, you see that the beds are all occupied, seemingly, or presumably rather, by sick creatures who up till now have not, I mean, they've not been alerted to you. Even though the doors come open, they must be at least sick enough that they've not, they didn't take notice of it.
They didn't hear the barrage of fireballs outside.
Apparently not. Must have just mixed in with the usual fare of the mine.
So you guys want to lock the door and set the building on fire?
I was just going to say set fireballs in there, but yeah.
We've only got so many fireballs, so let's just burn the building.
Yeah. All right, let's burn the building.
All right, y'all want me to try to sneak up and close the door?
Yep.
Yeah, can you lock it? Are you able to lock it? Do you have a skill for that?
I guess that depends on the GM.
Crafting check?
To lock the door?
Yeah.
Well, to
It would be
pry it
just
close.
well, anybody can close the door.
No, you want to lock them in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it'd be just the same role as like picking a lock because you'd be
Okay, all right.
you'd be picking it in reverse to lock it.
Okay.
do
So
that.
I'm going to attempt to sneak through the tree line up to the building, cautiously approach the door, and gently pull it shut. Which I don't seem to be able to do because I think there's a dead body on top of the clicky part for me.
Well, that is a problem, isn't there? Isn't it? There's a dead body in the doorway.
How have they not noticed the smoldering, burning corpse in the doorway?
Maybe they're asleep. Maybe they're sick.
Just drag it out, man.
All right, what do I need to do to drag the body off? Athletics check?
Yeah. Athletics to see if you can move it. Be on your level 23. You can lift him, but you find that he's too slimy to get a good grip on to slide away. You could try again.
Damn.
Almost.
Okay, I don't think that I'm going to be able to move this body.
Well, so on your third attempt, an awakened Charuka has walked over to the door to see just what's going on and has noticed exactly what you're doing, screaming in alarm to his compatriots, and they all jump up out of bed rather and ready themselves for combat.
Good luck
Okay.
getting past the dead body at the door, you bastards.
Oh, fireball the building.
Sorry, I clicked begin instead of NPC roll.
I'll demoralize the guy who came to the door.
All right, let's see. So you give your scary stare to the one at the door, and he does indeed become frightened of you. And it
Vega, if you want to delay till after me, I can do haste again.
Okay, will do. Oh.
Well, you're already after me, Logan. It's
Yeah,
Vega.
no, I realized who you're talking to after.
Unless you're just gonna fireball, then.
So, Vega, it is your turn.
Yeah, I'll delay till after Neji.
Just not for nothing, but I would very much like an opportunity to walk away from the building before any fireballs get thrown.
I think I should be able to throw that right inside.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to get all of them though.
First action is to cast Loose Times Arrow. And that should hit everyone except Drez.
Fine, I didn't want to be quickened anyway.
Dude, you're so far away.
To take my daggers and go home.
And then my next action, I guess I'll move far as I can, 30 feet. I'll move to here. And I'm done. Alright, Sir Durwin,
No,
Alright.
well, so
that's me.
Vega, he
Right,
delayed.
Vega,
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
my bad, yeah.
And your hasten action, your quicken action's got to be a move. Is that right?
Oh,
Step or
I would have
stride
to use
or
it on
what?
my next turn, right? Because
Not
that's
what?
be
Okay,
on my
so not yours. I meant like yours, like anybody's, right?
right.
But it has to be a move.
Yeah,
Step or
move it.
stride.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Step or stride.
So you are quickened, and you can use that extra one to move if you need a reposition.
All right, well, I may as well reposition a little bit.
It's free, so.
Should I just throw a fireball in that room or what?
Yes.
All right, I'll
If you have to
clear
hit Drez, so be it.
All right.
It's okay. I've got master reflex.
So yeah, put your circle down.
Get most of them. I'll just roll my damage and then you can do your saves.
I'm gonna make him roll. He's half an hour. Make him roll. Right, so the fireball flies into this building, and most of them are affected in some way. But a few dodge out of the way to avoid the worst effects. Let's see. So he did whole. And you hear the screams of little monkeys out of this, what has become essentially a chamber of death. And they are burning a lot. Oh, that was half, not double. There you go. He burned up anyway. So, last but not least, these two. And so this last one critically saves himself, and in doing so, jumps right out of the door.
And then I'm going to free action dispel my weapon. And then I will use my last action to strike the guy who just stepped out. My bow.
Oof.
I didn't have a spell on you yet, so
Oh, sorry.
I don't think it's gonna matter though with just the damage. Yeah, so he steps through the door and gets plinked with an arrow. Falls down dead to the ground.
It's the end of my turn. Racking up quite a few injured person kills here.
Sir Durwin.
Alright. For my turn, all I gotta do is run 80 feet right here.
Alright.
That's my turn. I don't
Fair
think I'll ever kill anything in this game.
Drez.
Fucking big ass maps, right?
So,
Yep.
when the chalupa came to the door, did he notice me specifically, or did he just notice there was activity at the door? Like, have I been discovered?
Yes, he sees you. He notices you.
All right. So, first thing that I'm going to do, I'm just going to step right up here in front of him. And then I want to use create a diversion on him.
Yeah.
I point over his shoulder and I say, "Look out! Fire!"
All right. You are. Yeah, you can now sneak. You are hidden from him.
Okay.
Are you gonna strike?
Yes, that should make make him flat-footed. Taking advantage of this stupid monkey's diverted attention, I stick a dagger somewhere he doesn't want it.
Ooh. Which is
Ow.
anywhere in his body?
Yes, use your imagination. Ooh, and he's got bleed damage on him now too. Get fucked.
So, well, he falls down bleeding, dead to the ground.
All right, how you guys feeling about tonight? We're pretty good at this, killing injured and ailing creatures.
Yeah, I would imagine these Charukas are low level because we fought these. I remember these icons from from the
I
I feel
Citadel.
like we're in the Crusades and we're just destroying everything in our sights
Yes.
for our
I-
cause.
I think that should be all my actions. I moved, demoralized, and struck. So yeah, I'm good.
So, this last remaining Charuka runs screaming at the door. And with his last action, he tries to stab you with a dagger. How about that? Yeah.
Nice try, monkey.
Neji, will you continue this genocide of Charukas?
Let's see. I guess I'll move to here. And then for my remaining 2 actions, I will use Electric Arc on the remaining Charuka.
Okay. He attempts to dodge out of the way. He does not. Roll your damage. And he gets zapped with electricity, and
Wait,
his
what?
heart stops beating.
Oh. He had 7 health. Wow.
So, with all of these Charukas falling down dead, you observe their corpses, and you don't seem to notice any of the telltale signs of sickness that you noticed with the kobolds and with these boggards, which leads you to believe these just must have been some forced laborers off shift, relaxing.
Oops.
However, for defeating them all, you will receive. Let's see here. Goodness, it's off the charts low. You will receive. You will receive. Oh wow, just 20 XP.
Alright, even 600.
You guys want to check out that pile of bones in the forest?
Yeah.
Durwin, do you
wanna-
have medicine? You should check these boggards and see why they're sick. Medicine check.
Yes. I shall.
Make sure we don't end up getting the same sickness.
So you examine the corpses of the boggards and identify that they have all suffered and died as a result of fire, which has rendered their bodies presumably not informative as to any sickness that they had previously.
But you
However,
did say
the one that was felled with an arrow and only charred a little bit reveals that he died from some type of arsenic poisoning.
I'll do a quick perception check inside the barracks here.
So you don't notice any traps or anything like that. You do notice, however, that this building is not run down. It is, in fact, immaculately constructed, and it seems to be watertight. All the walls are like coated with pine tar and resin, and the roof is very well constructed. Other than that, you don't notice anything of value. It just seems to be a simple bunkhouse. For reference, that's arsenic.
All right.
Or look, here, I'll do it this way. From the boggart. Feel free to lick him and click that button.
I think instead I'm going to cross back over here to these trees and am once again going to hide.
I will come up. We're going into that boneyard, right?
I mean, if you guys want to, I'm free to
I'll
always check it
should
out.
scout first and inspect it.
I'm just gonna, while I'm hidden, I'm gonna walk to the edge of the tree line and do a perception check.
Into this clearing.
I'm gonna go like right here. Can you roll me a stealth check real quick? I'm getting that game paused message again.
Really? Yeah, it's weird. Here, let me
I see that now.
let me tap it a couple times. All right, is it good now?
Looks like it. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's doing that, but it
It's
just seems to
weird.
be like randomly
Must-
thinking it's paused without being paused.
Probably some modules got some line that's, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
goofing up.
All right, I'm going to do a perception check on that clearing.
Okay. Beyond the bones and the refuse, you don't notice anything out of place. You don't notice any traps or anything like that. But there is a carpet of small animal bones, along with a few larger bones, just scattered all over the place. And you notice that the branches are tangled in a nest-like platform. But you don't notice any creatures or anything about.
What you guys want to do? You want to leave it alone, or you want to somebody do a nature check on the bones, or?
Throw a rock in the pit. What kind of checks can I do here? Can I do a medicine check to where the bones are? Get more information on them.
Yep, you could do that.
I will join
so-
them and
You identified that they are mostly small animal bones, and then the larger ones are definitely some kind of bipedal prey, whether it be orc or goblin or some other humanoid.
Ooh. All right, what do you guys think? Just move on, or
I mean, it seems like the kind of thing that if we fuck with it, we're going to attract something's attention or wake something up. So it's just really whether you guys are going to fight it or not.
yeah, let's leave them alone.
okay. Did we
Vega, how are
come
you
down?
doing for spell slots?
No, I'm doing okay.
I guess let's head over to. You just want to like
Tower?
go around the pit, the outside, and explore all that, and then head into the pit. Is that the plan?
What's that glowing yellow thing over there?
Yeah, I just saw that.
Let's check it out.
It's like there are more buildings to the north too.
I guess I'll do a detect magic.
All right.
I will scout ahead.
Well, so I think the detect magic you want to do is like the exploration one.
Oh, yes. I didn't know there was a difference.
Well, yeah, that's a 30-foot emanation. The other one is you just detect magic for the next 300 feet or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes, you detect that there is magic present.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to try to cross undetected over into this group of trees.
So you're going over there and you're hiding?
Yeah.
Alright. Does anybody wanna,
I want to start.
look ahead, like do a perception check?
Yes, I will do a perception check and then start walking ahead.
I'll follow close behind Logan, like right behind his ass.
Okay, so other than the yellow circle that's oddly glowing on the ground and the wooden hut in front of you with a little bit of smoke coming from its chimney, you don't notice anything as yet.
Alright, I'll walk up 60 feet. And if I still don't know anything, I will walk up another 10 feet and then
Are you
Neji.
gonna roll another perception check, or you just
Yes, I should.
are you trying to like reveal yourself to something that you've not noticed?
I shouldn't. I should be doing the perception check. I'm still
You
just
you
going
are,
to walk
it.
right
I'll
up
do it.
front.
you are outside.
I am also going to do a perception check.
Also
Please.
outside.
Oh, there we go. All right, 25. That'll do it.
Technically, we can't hear him though. He's trying to be hidden, and we shouldn't be able to hear him.
Well, I never said I was going to tell you what I found.
Well, I'm not
I
hiding.
keep that knowledge for myself.
Vega beat Chesty, so
Oh,
he
I
can
didn't
tell.
even see Vegas.
So Vega can tell, looking at this circle, that it was used sometime recently in the past to cast a ritual to conjure a demon.
Oh God.
And they also notice, Drez and Vega notice that around this house there seems to be some sort of sorting material and a table upon which material has been sorted. Presumably, rocky material from the mine is sorted from the precious materials that they're after. And there's all kinds of burnout candles and things. It looks like no one is currently manning the station.
Mary, can you do an occultism check on that summoning area?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Just
What are you attempting to find
let's
out?
just
further?
maybe get more details on what was actually summoned, what kind of creature exactly it was.
Okay, you are unsuccessful. You're only able to determine that it was, used to summon a demon, just like Vega.
Can I sneak up to the back of the house and see if there are any windows I can peek in?
Why bother? Just fireball. It's a solution to all our problems.
Fireballs aren't unlimited.
Yeah,
So
I've only got so many left.
Your successful perception check revealed to you that this is a similarly constructed building as the bunkhouse, and it seems to be airtight, watertight. Again, the only signs of habitation are that there is a little bit of smoke coming from the chimney.
So it doesn't have any windows?
No windows.
Kind of crazy ass architect makes a house with no windows.
Okay, then I want to go right up to the door and bust it open. Anyone else have any objections?
Give her.
I'm gonna just creep up next to the side here, so I'm a little closer if things go south. If you
Yep.
do that.
Do you have a crowbar, Logan?
I have my hammer.
Oh, I guess that works.
I have a crowbar if we need it, but I think the hammer would probably do just fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, but yes, I think I actually have a crowbar. I do. All right. Neji, are you coming right up with me?
I'm coming right up with you, like to the side of the door, just in case there's traps. I'll be like right here.
Yep. All right. I'm going to.
Do you guys? Well, you guys want to get into position? Everybody else?
I mean, I think I'm close by if shit goes down. So
There you go.
I'm good.
Okay. I just want to see if. Can I? Yeah, I'm going to try and open the door and. Yeah, kick it open.
Okay, so you're just gonna kick the door open?
Yep.
do it diplomatically.
All right.
Anything I want
So
to be intimidated.
you bust the door open, and the sudden intrusion is met with a gasp, and you are confronted with another kobold who is in shock and manages to mutter out, who are you? And is clearly frightened by this intrusion and confused at seeing another kobold.
I feel like he's evil. That's why I just want to go and destroy him. Just seeing his hobo. I am here to destroy these dragon pillars, feel my wrath, and I am going to. Can I run in there and attack him right now?
Damn, now you let him
If that's what you want to do, yeah.
Murder hobo as fuck.
Well, we're in a crusade. We're here to destroy everything.
You run in and make an attack?
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
I'm here reporting that I can't do that. I did everything all dramatically no.
Yeah, that's true. You can't rush in with all that bravado and miss your attack.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So swing that damage. And then everybody roll initiative. So you run in like the hero of your own personal story, and you bonk this thing right on the head for 21 damage.
He hears my battle cry from the outside.
I don't know if he does. That's pretty good distance.
Where are you? Oh, I can't see anyone.
That's. I mean, yeah. If it was closer, I'd go with
Fair
that.
enough.
But that's. I mean, through the wall, 100 feet away.
I hear the battle cry and relay it.
So you're going to say we all have little cups and shoestrings to relay it right to him?
Well, I just tell it to Neji, and Neji screams it through the door, and we hope that it's the same thing that Vega actually said, but we don't know.
Now,
So we're playing the game.
Yeah, no, it has to be an observed foe. I just read it.
now, if you said I cast Dimension Door in my palm, and I scream into it, and then I make it appear at the door right here.
Mary, can I
Yeah.
I guess can my spells hit him from here? Where I'm standing?
I mean, yeah, presumably. It depends on the spell, I guess.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to see. I'm gonna cast Dirge of Doom. No, actually, you know what? I'm gonna inspire courage. No, wait, no, sorry. Fuck, I can't make up my mind here. Yeah, no, I'm gonna cast Dirge of Doom.
Dirge of Doom? That sounds made up.
It is. Just kidding. So basically everything in the 30-foot area gets frightened one. All the enemies.
Oh no, I just used this in Kingmaker actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to then cast Phantasmal Killer on him.
All right.
Oh,
Get fucked. Just frightened 3. And 8d6 mental damage.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh, I'm right before him. This sucks. Oh well. I'll just delay on the next one.
Did you click that button?
Oh, sorry. Damage.
I think it'll do 4. No, it did them all. Okay, sweet.
nice.
Jesus, is he still alive?
If he'd had crit failed that, he would have died from fear, basically. Like
Yeah, well,
legit.
fortitude save or die, right?
That spell
Oh
kills
shit!
our...
Sorry, I
You wrote it
did not mean
twice,
to roll twice there.
All right, so is that it for you?
Yeah.
All right, so this thing, having been frightened and pummeled, begins to run, which triggers your attack of opportunity, Durwin. So take that attack.
Oh, get fucked.
Yes!
Jesus.
Oh, of
And a 2 and a 1
course.
again.
All right, so you bonk it again on the head as it runs out the door. So, and it runs off to the north.
How many actions does this guy have? What the fuck?
No, it's a scurry feat.
We just moved 3 times.
Oh.
used all 3 of its actions to move.
He was that scared.
I mean, you guys can move that far with 3 actions of movement. All right,
What I'll be
Vega.
doing.
Yeah, I'll just move 3 actions.
All right.
I can get to there.
Drez.
All right. Well, I don't really know that there's any need for stealth at this point, so I am going to take
Perfect.
2 actions and move right here and target him and say, "I'm really sorry about this," and then stick a dagger in him.
Oh,
Jesus.
shit. That's a low damage roll.
Well, I
Are you-
didn't have the sneak attack bonus
I know.
on it.
All right, so you damage this thing.
And that's my
He's just
final
taking a fucking
action
beating.
there. I can't believe he's still alive.
All right, I'm going to.
She's still alive. It's a female.
Oh, I can't
Oh.
believe she's still alive.
By the way, my man, Durwin, you kicked open a door and found a helpless female kobold. And then
Just
you
started
immediately
beating
tried to murder.
What's your alignment again?
Lawful good, but I also know black kobolds are evil kobolds. We're still all color basis.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is racist as fuck.
For
That's
Durwin is
fuck.
Peacemaker. Have you guys watched that show?
Yes, I am peacemaker.
I cherish peace with all my heart. I don't care how many men, women, and children I need to kill to get it.
Okay, so I just did one movement to get out here,
All
and
right.
then I will do another 2 movements to move right beside him.
Hurt.
Why don't you just go for the flank? Go here.
Because I can't get it that far.
Okay. All right, you're a heavy. You get
Yeah.
penalty.
Well, and there should be this little area right here is
Oh, so I should be
is
more
the
here.
is an elevation. No, you can get right there where
Oh.
you were.
Oh,
But I was just saying this little darker dirt patch looking area is actually
oh,
like
I
a
see now.
like a pit. Yeah, I just realized there wasn't the right
Mound
walls there, which you could totally see down into and such if you look and examine it. But yeah, you can't necessarily just walk down in there.
Might be a good idea to grab him or something, Logan. I think she's gonna keep running.
Well, that's 3 for him, right? You used 3 to move there. So Neji, it's time for you to get your grapple on.
All right, Neji, come up here and flank and grab.
30 feet. Okay, I'm gonna move here. Let's see. What can I do? I will do a. Should I go for a trip or pull him towards me? What would you guys prefer?
If you trip her right there, then I can move just 1 space up and have her flanked.
Because if she's tripped, she'll be flanked regardless.
Oh yeah, that's right. She'll be flat-footed. I'd say, well, which one do you have a higher chance of succeeding at?
That's the same DC.
I'd say try the trip then.
Okay. I'll do telekinetic maneuver with a trip. Oh shit, that was the wrong. There you go.
Okay. So you just have to succeed an attack roll on her. Is that right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
My spell attack roll. Yeah.
I think the button there probably.
Okay. The spell attack, right?
All right. So you want to trip? You say?
Yeah.
Which would just make her prone, I believe. So she gets to reflex save to try to not be tripped against your. Oh yeah, she saves against it. So she falls and lands prone. Oh no, she saved against it, so it would have. Let's see.
Wait.
So you hit. So do an athletics. Roll an athletics, and she would get to. It's an
You can
athletics.
attempt this,
It's an athletics against her reflex DC. So you need to roll athletics now that you hit with it.
Wait, sorry, I don't get it. Because I succeeded with my spell attack roll, and that's all it says in the tooltip description. Isn't
Instead
that
of an
sufficient?
athletics check.
But you want to trip.
Yes.
Oh, so you want to succeed instead of the athletics. Okay. But does it get to save against it then, right?
Well, I think from my understanding from reading this is if I pass the check, that's it. That's all. That's all it'll take to do what I need to do.
Well, if it hits. I got you.
Yeah.
So it's basically it swaps the spell attack for the
Yeah,
athletics
exactly.
and the
That's exactly what it
reflex
is.
for the DC. Okay, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you. I thought it let you do a trip afterwards.
Oh no.
Okay. So it is prone. She is prone.
And I'm done. That's 3 actions.
All right. So the first thing she does is stand up, which triggers reactions.
Yes.
Which she should be dead. Well, so you did that before I properly adjusted her conditions.
Oh.
But let's see.
I can re-roll it.
Okay.
Oh, you're all the same
No,
number.
same thing.
Fair enough. So she stands up and dodges her way out of getting smacked in the head with a hammer. And let's see here. So, just before she goes to move, this time she produces a little pouch from her vest, and she throws it down on the ground, and a puff of smoke blasts out. You guys, Drez, near her, Drez and Durwin, click that.
Yeah, I'll
right
have
there.
SARS.
Have what? SARS.
SARS.
So
There not have been that was arsenic, wasn't it?
Drez is unaffected. However, Durwin, you become sickened too.
Yep,
Oh,
that was
shit.
arsenic.
And she becomes hidden to you as she retreats. So she can only go not too far. Just a few spaces away. Alright, and that ends her turn. Vega.
Well, I still have no idea what's even going on here. Well, take one move action. Oh,
hey, you guys.
what are you guys doing over here?
We just need you to cast fireballs, man. Don't worry about anything else.
It's one creature. It's just lightning bolt.
Well, I'll cast acid arrow on her. Not too high of a level.
So you're going to trip her in a different way.
Was that close enough? Yo.
Ooh.
Ooh, so it wavers in the distance and gets a little off course. Barely missing her.
That's it. One move and miss the acid arrow.
Drez.
All right, I'm going to move right here. And then I am going to attempt to tumble behind her.
And she.
Sheathe your face in a second. Okay, so my tumble through did not work. So I am going to... What's her frighten level at right now? Is she
1.
immune to demoralize at this point?
I believe so.
That depends if you demoralized her or not.
No, I don't think anybody did demoralize her. I think she got it all from Neji spells. Yep. So she is not immune to demoralize.
I'm going to try and use my last action to additionally frighten her.
Oh.
I
Nice.
yell, "Booga, booga, booga."
That is successful. And she is... That must be some kind of curse word in Kobold. Because Durwin looks at you shocked as well. Just as his turn begins, a rumbling starts from behind him where he approached the mud pit here. It's seemingly a refuse pit. It's been used by the kobolds. It has all kinds of debris and discarded matter in it, along with just dirt and oddly shaped piles of earth and, refuse. It doesn't look natural, that is to say. And from one of these pops a mud spider, and it scurries right up the edge of this and right in front of you, Durwin. And it enters the fray here. It doesn't really matter what it rolls. It enters just after you, so it's still your turn.
I say go after the kobold. Logan, are you muted? Yeah, he's muted.
Sorry. Yes, I will go after the kobold. Still have enough. Right, 20, yep. Right up to it, and then I will swing my hammer at it.
Alright, you connect even in your weakened condition. And you swing down your hammer on this thing, and it shrieks in pain.
Alright, I will do my second attack and... Actually, no, I'll raise my shield. Being second, I should be a little more defensive.
Alright, so you
grab her.
raise your shield. This spider scurries right after you, moving right up into your face. and it tries to strike at you with its legs, and it actually flings up about 6 of its legs all at once. It rears up on just its back legs, and you are caught quite by surprise. Click that reflex save for me. Alright, so you've never seen a spider do this before, and you're just caught completely off guard, and it just smacks you around with all of its legs. To make matters worse, it comes around after you have taken this barrage, and it tries to bite you. So, click this fortitude save for me. As it chomps down onto your neck, you feel poison start to pump into your veins. However, you steel yourself and you use all of your kobold strength to resist becoming poisoned by this spider's venom.
Okay, and then with that bite attack, I should be able to use my attack of opportunity, though, right?
So attacks don't have the manipulate trait, so they don't trigger reactions. Ranged attacks do.
One of you. Okay, I'm just keep thinking of one of you then, listening to a podcast. All good.
So with that, Neji, it goes to you, my friend.
Okay.
Will you deal with this new menace?
You know, let's finish off the kobold first. I'm gonna cast Phantasmal Killer on the kobold again. Oof.
So he saves himself.
But she takes 4d6 and frightened 1. I guess hits. Roll for damage there. Wait, did I roll? I rolled 8d6. Here, I'll just roll it manually. There you go.
So what? Where does it say it still takes damage when it saves?
It says success. The target takes 4d6 mental damage and is frightened 1.
Not sure how much more frightened she can get.
Critical success. Failure is 8d6. Critical failure, so afraid it might die. Oh, I see it. It's under it. I see it. Yeah.
They really need to color code those headings.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
All right, so you strike this thing with mental images and rip its mind apart, killing it.
Okay, so then I'll use Lingering Composition, Inspire Courage combo. I probably should have done that to start, but whatever.
Ooh. Huge.
You were doing what now? Lingering composition? Yeah, so that's great.
Inspire Courage. We can give it to ourselves, right? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, who are you hitting though? 60
It's 60-foot range, right? So it's gonna hit everyone.
All right. So, yeah, the one you can give yourself though is not the same as the one that I've been doing, because the one you give yourself is permanent. It just is always on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then for my last... Wait, no, that's it. That was the spell was 2 actions. Okay.
Yeah, that's heroics is the effect you just put on yourself.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so boom. Boom, boom. Okay. So, with the death of this kobold, who you didn't even learn the name of, you hear a loud crash from the north and a rumbling
That's not
as
good.
a humongous creature breaks free of its pen, seemingly enraged at the death of its master. It walks right up to where this kobold fell and lets out just a terrible roar, entering the encounter. Conveniently enough, right after Neji. And that was 3 for you, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so this thing steps right into the fray, and it swipes its tail. Unfortunately for Durwin, he is the recipient of this. It catches him and smacks him for 13 damage. Let's see, let me get a measure real quick. Yeah, it swings around the other side, and with its tail, it smacks at Drez.
Fucking dinosaur.
And we'll say he used one of his movements or one of his actions to bust out of the cave. Move down here. So Vega, you can see that a large target has emerged, even though you are still a distance away.
Well, when in doubt, cast Fireball. I'll cast as a 4th level this time. I haven't used any of my 4th level spell slots. I'll cast it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's some pretty shitty rolls.
Oh, some low rolls there. Fuck.
Still enraged, this thing is washing its tail around so quick that it negates any of the flame damage, or at least half of it, as it swats away and puts out most of the fire.
And then I will bespell my weapon with that fire damage. And take a shot with my longbow.
Alright. So hold on a second. So fireball is what type of spell, right? Fireball is evocation. Force damage to spell. So it's, yeah, same damage type. Let me put the effect on your bow, right?
Yeah.
Go for it. Alright, the arrow travels a long distance, but doesn't find its mark.
Damn it. And that's my 3.
Drez, how will you deal with this new challenger?
All right, I'm going to take a step action to the right to flank the spider to make it flat-footed.
Got you. Let's see. Can you? Does that work with a creature bigger than you?
I honestly don't know.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. It's just opposite. Yeah.
Yeah, this has to be directly opposite of the other player.
So you have him flat-footed by your positioning.
All right, and slashing out with the dagger. And then I'm going to bring the dagger back around to attempt a second attack.
Nice. Oh.
All right, so you come around with your dagger and you hack off a limb. Not satisfied, you bring around another one and you hack off another limb, and little drops of spider blood start to pulsate from the stump left behind. Sir Durwin.
All right, I will attack the spider 'cause it's flat-footed with me right now.
Hero point.
Yeah, that'll be my last hero point.
Oh, come on.
Oh, what the hell? Damn these
All right.
dice.
That's
I'm going to
awesome.
do.
You can, by the way, you're sickened. You can spend an action trying to retch to get rid
One
of.
action?
You can spend one action to roll a fortitude save to try to retch and get rid of the sickness, and the save would be, it would be against his poison, which is gonna be DC 22.
22? Okay.
So you retch, but you don't get rid of any sickness. You
And I'll keep my shield up.
just make funny little lizard sounds.
Yeah.
And you want to raise shield again?
Yep.
All right, you do so. This spider whips around and tries to attack the person who most recently hurt it, and it tries to smack you with one of its legs. It connects, and it uses another action as it's damaging you to push you down prone. You feel the immense strength of this spider overwhelm you, and you are on the ground. In a moment, let me get rid of this thing stuff.
Whoa, spider. At least buy me dinner first.
Never. And with you on the ground, it attempts to bite you. So, roll that fortitude save. So you feel the poison pulsing through your veins, but you've had worse in many taverns across Golarion, and you're able to resist. And with that, Neji, it's back to you. What do you do, sir? muted.
Oh, I said I'm running out of spell slots here. I should probably save my slots. I will do a performance demoralize on Spider. Nope. Give me a sec. If that fails, I'll hero point it.
So you will describe how you're demoralizing him. Well, like what's your song like?
You should sing it, Leonard Nimoy's Ballad of Bilbo Baggins.
Yes, that's what I'll sing.
How's that go?
I don't even know.
I thought you guys were all Lord of the Rings fans.
I'm a fake fan. Mary's the real fan here.
All right, so you successfully frighten this thing with the quality of your performance.
Okay. Then I will
Luckily for this spider, or I should say, this spider's not as lucky as those people still waiting in that tavern for their performance.
all right. Oh. Okay, my next action will be to use electric arc on the spider. And I guess subsequently the big dinosaur person. Big creature.
Big boy.
Big boy.
Alright, so they take a little bit of damage from this electric blast, but they're able to resist the most gruesome consequences due to their Mwangi hardiness.
Is a spider gonna succeed a reflex throw while it's holding me on the ground? Bitch ass spider.
It has 7 legs right now.
I'd cut off 2 of them.
Oh, 2 of them. I thought it was 1, so 6. You should have cut off both of them on one side, not both each side.
Is that it for you, Neji?
Yeah.
Alright, so let's see, this big fella starts stomping his feet like he's gearing up for something. And let's see, let me measure something real quick here. Alright, so this guy starts stamping his feet, and you can see that something is afoot, literally. And he stomps through all of these spaces. Let me draw a line. Array, maybe? Yeah. So he stomps about 40 feet. It's about through here. So as he moves through here, Durwin, Drez, and then finally Neji, he just kind of ends up right on top of you, buddy. Sorry. You guys all click that reflex save.
Oh my god. He'd be leaving one of my threatened squares though, right? Because he was right beside me.
He would trigger, well, let's see.
Oh, we trigger both of them.
Yeah, so he moves. It's a move action. So it would trigger.
Okay.
So you can only use one
or the other
reaction, yeah, per time. So, let's see. Everyone rolled, and so Drez expertly dodges out of the way. He's used to last minute evacuations. However, the back foot stomps little Durwin into the mud a little bit, and he takes a severe blow. And the front foot ends up right on top of Neji, and he takes some glancing damage from this thing standing. I'm gonna put him right next to you, right there, just so you can see yourself. All right, and that's his whole turn. So Vega, your quarry one at least is closer to you now. What
So
will
I
you
can
do?
still do my attack of opportunity now? I was just waiting for you to finish talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, roll it.
Okay. Oh,
All right,
finally
so
a hit.
just before the foot comes down and squishes you in the mud, you raise your hammer and you hit it right on the soft spot of its heel and deal 22 damage. Vega, what will you do?
Who do I want to hit? Take rid of that spider first, or you want me to hit the dinosaur?
I say dinosaur.
I'm voting for the spider because I don't like being stepped on.
Might just be easier if I get rid of the spider, because then if I get rid of him, then we've all got one guy to fight against.
Yeah, no, sorry. Get away the spider. I realize how much HP I actually have.
Okay, well, I will cast Acid Arrow on that guy.
On the spider or the
Spider, yeah.
right? So your acid arrow flies straight and hits this wounded spider, causing him to his exoskeleton to sizzle with acidic damage.
And then I'll bespell the weapon and take a strike with my longbow. Let me know if when you've got that on there.
Go for it.
Ooh,
Nice.
Yeah.
So you fling an arrow straight after your acid arrow, and it hits the same spot and buries itself into this creature, felling it.
right. And that's my 3 again.
All right, Drez, what will you do, sir?
All right, my first action is going to be to stand up.
Fair enough.
My second action let me see here. I think second action, I'm going to move. How big is this table right here? Is it big enough to provide cover if I get behind it?
From this creature? No.
Well, screw him then.
And
All
this is a huge creature, so he's.
You may be able to get the corpse of the spider if you go behind it. Maybe, I don't know. There's a big spider.
I mean, this thing is a good 15 plus feet tall.
Shit, never mind.
I mean, it's huge, yeah.
All right, for now, I'm going to still move right down here. And I think for the last action, I'm actually going to duck into the doorway of this building.
Okay. There. All right, so it moves to Sir Durwin. And Sir Durwin, just as you are about to take your turn, a familiar sound begins behind you, and you see out of the corner of your eye another mud ball bust apart, and a spider scurries up the hill right behind you, having detected your presence. So he's gonna go right after you.
Let's run, Logan. Run towards us.
So your turn continues as normal, but there's a spider behind you again.
I'm going to run. So 20 feet there. I'm going to treat wounds on myself because that needs to happen now.
You have combat medicine?
Yes.
All right.
Oh God.
Maybe these two creatures can fight each other if we hide in the house.
And then my last turn, I'm going to vomit. With
All right.
fortitude save?
Yeah, 22.
Nice. There we go.
So you lose 1 level of sickness as you retch and vomit everywhere.
Alright. That's my turn. Spider, come at me.
So this spider, yes, it indeed does scurry right after you. It comes down right beside you and flicks its legs at you. Click that reflex save.
Oh my God.
You are pummeled
Oh, guys, boxcars. Oh,
by spider legs and spider hair, and it deals you a potentially fatal blow. The good news is you're not sickened anymore.
Yay!
You're just dying. So the spider, having used up all its actions, is done. Neji, what will you do here? Companion is in dire straits. Your foes are resurgent.
I'm gonna use a level 3 soothe on Logan. Wait, what? That's not right. What? No.
Right now.
That's not the right level.
Oh no,
Sorry.
I
Oh,
could
spell 1.
possibly be
Yeah.
silver the 5, but like.
Oh, there we go.
Like knocked down. Okay, I'll put them in.
All right. So you did that on him. Yeah.
Yeah, and then 25, 30, and then I guess the next action is going to the house.
You going into the house?
Yeah. Gonna try and hide from the creatures.
Ooh, thank you, Neji.
All right, so this thing, seeing no one else, since you guys have entered the house, rampages back up towards the little kobold here, and he swats at you with his tail. Man, I'm sorry.
I should have been just kept dead.
Oh no. Oh.
Yeah.
Does
Just
that
keep
mean
me
you're
dead
dead?
and finish this battle. Then they'll actually think I'm dead. Fuck.
You below your con?
Oh yeah.
So dead.
I don't think we're doing critical hits, are we? Like,
No, that's I'm pretty sure. I don't know, there are deadly attacks in Pathfinder that do that same thing, but I don't think it's exactly like that.
there's a massive damage rule, and
Is there? Yeah.
I think it's you can put it in or keep it out type thing. Optional rule. I'm going to look it up right now.
Didn't he only what's the threshold? Because like I think it was just 8 over.
Yeah. It was only 8 over.
It was only 8 because I healed you right for 26.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about my other HP.
All right, so this thing, seemingly pleased with itself, stamps over kind of on the other side of this table, and as it stops, sees Drez and lets out a roar for you guys. Let's see here. Message double and oh yeah. Well yeah. So that wasn't even close to that. Cause that'd be like 200 and something. Or yeah, it'd be like 204 or something for him. No. 194. Yeah. But good to know. That's got to be like some in-game shit.
End game, or I think like early on, like a big crit happens.
If you're like way, yeah, disproportionate. Cool. Well, sorry. So yeah, this thing smacked you, and then it kind of meandered over until it saw Drez, and now it's let out a roar, and it's ready to get going again. So with that, Vega.
Well. Still the best I got, so I'm back to casting Fireball. Should be able to get both of you without actually hitting Durwin.
Okay, so this big old thing. This time wasn't prepared, wasn't swishing its tail around, and it takes the full brunt of this fireball.
And tell me that spider critically fails it.
Well, so let's see. He's half in, half out, so I'm gonna give him a bit of a circumstance bonus on it.
Ah,
And he would have succeeded without it, but he does take half the damage. So,
and then,
give action
keeping in
remaining.
line with it, I will dispel the weapon with the fire and see if I can't kill this fucking or shoot this dinosaur for a little extra.
All right,
Just let me know when you got it loaded.
it's all you.
Okay. Oh, good God. I'll hero point.
All right.
Hero point again.
May as well. I'll hero point a second.
Yeah, we're at the end, so
All right.
And missed 3 fucking shots.
So arrows fly, none finding their mark. Drez from the doorway.
All right, so I'm going to step inside the building here. I am going to use a lesser healing potion.
Okay.
And then last thing I would like to do is do a perception check in here to see if any of this junk around us can be used as weapons or defense.
So you just looking in general, but you're specifically interested.
Specifically
in
looking like at this stuff right here that looks like alchemy equipment and these shiny things over here.
Sure. So, yes, it's definitely, and you recognize it as an alchemical workstation. And looking through it, you see that there are some potions and things here that you could salvage. Were you not in combat, but none of them that you see offhand are anything that you can grab and use at the moment.
All right, that's all my actions.
So, Sir Duskslayer, I believe it's just a flat roll here. Flat check, I should say.
I think you should actually move in the initiative
D-
order to just after the thing that killed him, right?
Oh, yes, thank you. That is right. It was the spider, so it would be the spider at the moment. And having seemingly finished with you, this spider, whoop, he crawls down here and up onto the roof of this building. So you guys can't necessarily see him. He's up on the roof.
oh shit.
Yes, now Durwin, it'll be just roll a d20 with the DC of 11. Nice. So you succeed, and your dying value does not increase. It decreases actually to 0, and you're now just unconscious. So you still need some healing to get up. All right. So, Neji, speaking of healing, could assist you.
Okay. What can I do here?
Oh, and you do increase your wounded condition here. So you are wounded too, Durwin.
I cast invisibility on Drez.
You have invisibility. Okay, you cast
Yeah.
invisibility.
I just never use it. Then I guess I need to get the fuck out of this house. Then I'll
You're probably safer in there than you are out here.
because the spiders are gonna come in through the chimney. I think is what it's planning on doing.
That's fucking giant spider.
Yeah. All right. Well. What can I do then?
Can you shoot at the dinosaur?
Yeah, we gotta kill that fucking dinosaur.
Yeah. Can I hit the dinosaur from this doorway, Mary? I have
Yeah,
vision on it.
You
so-
can
okay.
see it.
Oh,
If you could see it, it's pretty much in your line of effect, unless you know there's some kind of thing on the map that we, theater of the mind say, okay, that thing is a, and most of the time I try to draw like walls around that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So that we don't have
I
to
won't be
fudge
able
it.
to shoot. Yeah.
But
I won't
yeah,
be able to shoot it anyways because I need to pull out a weapon, which would take an action. So I'm just gonna use demoralize on the dinosaur.
okay.
Play some really loud music on my lute, loud sounding.
I mean, we can just admit that your playing is so bad it frightens animals and sentient creatures of all kinds.
Yeah.
And that is a critical success. So he is frightened too of your musical abilities.
I keep forgetting I'm one before him. I need to delay on the next one, but whatever. All right.
That's it for you.
Yeah.
All right. So this thing, frightened, isn't sure exactly what to do. However, it is frustrated that it can't get at these nuisances in the house, but it does notice something that it can get at, and it charges at you, Vega. And it swipes at you with its tail. Let's see here. But this time it whips it around faster than you have seen it, and it cracks a sonic boom into the air. Click that save right there. Oof. So you find that you have become stunned by the sound of this cracking tail. So with stun, I believe you just lose those actions. Yes.
But I only have one action. Is that how that works?
At the moment you do, yes. You only have one action. Trying to see if you could do anything to regain that though during the... You can roll that save again, maybe? Hold on. Okay, yeah. Each time you regain. Because I don't think it's like frightened where it just goes away on its own. But we looked at this before to see how you lose it. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so at the start of your turn. So you lose one, not at the... You lose one every time. Yeah, at the start of your turn. So it'll reduce eventually.
At the start of my turn, reduce the number I regain by 2, so I only get 1 action this turn.
Right. And then you should. Yeah.
The next turn I should be fine, but other than the fact that I
Right.
got
Well,
nowhere to run.
its turn has ended, so this is
Yeah.
that turn. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, I don't think you lose. Like at the end of your turn here, I don't think you lose it. I'm trying to see what you do to regain those. To lose stunned condition.
Run into the house and hide.
I believe it says, you stunned usually indicates a value which indicates how many total actions you lose. At the beginning, each time you regain actions, such as at the start of your turn, reduce the number you regain by the stunned value, then reduce your stunned value by the number
Right.
of actions you lost.
That's what I'm saying. If
So I only get 1 action regained at the start of my turn right now, and the next turn, the stun condition would be gone.
right, you lose it. Yeah.
Okay. I got 1 move and I can't make it inside the fucking house.
Run into the trees.
I can make it right to the doorway. But you can probably still get a hit on me.
You could just go around, like, run to the forest and maybe make your way to Logan.
Yeah, where's that other fucking spider though? He's gonna pop down.
He's
and
on
get
the
me.
roof. He's on the roof of the house.
The roof. The roof.
The roof.
The roof is on fire. Oh, not yet. It isn't.
Okay, well, I'm gonna come join you guys in the house.
Oh, by the way, if we need to stop, just say so. I see we're a few minutes over our time. I'm not being as strict because, like, you know, it's spring break, baby. So,
I'm good for keep going right now.
all right. Well, I say just don't feel obligated. You know, just.
I
I
can
just,
go
I
another
just
half hour
noticed.
myself.
I just noticed.
I
we
just
was a
want to
few
know by
minutes-
the end of the battle if I have to make a new character or not.
Well, just don't tie anything up and start negotiating like those guys did last night.
Yeah.
Who's got some rope? I want a pet.
Okay,
So
I don't mean to go on a tangent, but why did they fucking knock it out after they killed all of its companions in front of it? Come
Yeah.
on, y'all. Y'all are more experienced players than that, even though we're doing the beginner box. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna come to here, and I want one of you guys to drag me into the fucking house on your turns, please.
No can do.
No.
I mean, I definitely don't want you stuck out there, but I have to take advantage of the opportunity I've got.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would that make you visible? That wouldn't make you visible.
No, it
It
wouldn't
would,
make
it
you
would waste
visible.
an action, is what it would do.
Yeah, it would.
Oh,
He
sure.
needs
So
to
here's-
attack something. He needs to attack it.
Here's my question. Since I am invisible, do I have to sneak at half speed or can I move at full speed?
That's a good question. I think you just move like
Full
normal.
speed. I think it's full speed, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you just
The only-
move like normal.
Okay, that's the only thing I can find in a Google search is a Reddit post, and that's what everyone else or someone else said. But as long as I can move at full speed, so I am taking 1 action to move right here undetected.
Well, so I guess the thing is this, right? It's not that you're totally you're invisible, but you're not totally undetected because you're making sound when you like footsteps and you're clanging of your stuff. And this thing has ears; it can hear, right?
Okay, so
Like the,
I need to know right now if I need to sneak or if I can stride.
Click the thing I linked in the chat.
What
The
you
invisible. condition.
Yeah, I just threw invisibility out there too.
Let's click the invisible.
Invisibility makes you undetected to all creatures, though the creature can attempt to find the target, making it hidden to them instead.
So you're good if it's not
Right.
its turn. Yeah.
If it's not its turn, it should still be
Right.
undetected until you have a turn
But
as the monster.
But right. The
Okay.
the hair split is undetected versus unnoticed. It knows that you are in the vicinity, but it does not know like exactly.
All I
where
need
you
right
are.
now is a call to say, does it see me or does it detect me? Does it not? Is it
Look,
flat-footed? Is
guys,
it not?
click the invisible tooltip. There's more details in there. It has to seek you basically to detect you.
To hit you with that, and that means to hit you without rolling. But if you're saying you want to come up to it, then yes, you're hidden, so it's flat-footed to you.
Okay. So if you will make it flat-footed, I am going to use the free action to interact with the Dagger of Venom to activate it. And then attempt a strike with said Dagger of said Venom.
What's it? Oh, what's its poison? Can you put it in the chat?
Yeah, I should be able to link it here.
All right. So you're hitting it.
I hope so.
You hit it. Roll your
Okay.
damage.
If you have a hero point, you should probably try and get a crit on that.
I am not gonna run the risk of rolling a miss on that. Not a chance.
Well, can't you take the better roll if you do a hero point? You can take the better roll. No,
I don't think so.
Okay.
All right. So it saved itself from your poison, but it took the full effect of your damage.
All right, and then I should be visible to it now because the hostile action should destroy the invisibility.
That is correct, sir.
And then I should have one more action left, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I am just going to retreat
He
back
should
inside the
be
building.
down.
Oh man, I wish
You
you had
should
more.
tackle Vega right in there.
If it wouldn't take more actions than what I had available, I absolutely would.
Add an athletics check to it.
All right. So, you guys all start hearing a scratching sound. It intensifies, and it sounds like something is burrowing through the ceiling. It's at this moment that you notice that the primary construction material of the ceiling seems to be some sort of mud, and to your horror, it is easily gone through by the mud spider, who crashes through the ceiling onto the alchemy workstation, targets the rogue who's unlucky enough to be inside the house furthest here, and lifts up on its back legs and lets out a barrage that actually is going to hit. Let's see here. It's going to hit you two, Neji and Drez. I don't think it hits into the door there, because you're like halfway. So, you guys click this reflex save for me, please.
That might be worth a hero
Yeah,
point.
no, I'm absolutely hero pointing that.
Nice.
There you go.
Wait, how come his was a crit success even though I rolled higher than him? That's weird.
Because I have evasion.
Oh.
See where it says there in the box, when you roll a success,
you
a
go up
reflex
level.
can occur
Yeah.
success.
Go up a step, right?
Well, so you avoid all of the damage, and Neji, you avoid half of the damage. You're only slapped around a little bit and receive 4 damage. Just as you're celebrating your victory, Drez, the thing comes down and tries to bite you with some spider fangs, but you nimbly dodge out of the way. Sir Durwin, you, my friend, are still unconscious, I think, because no one has come to
Yep.
the rescue. So there's really not much you could do. You don't need to roll because you're not dying. You're just
Nope.
unconscious. So
I'm
enjoy
just taking a nap.
your rest. Neji.
Should we just focus on the spider while it's in here?
Yeah, because I mean, like if we run out right now, we're gonna have to deal with both of them. So I'd say if we can kill the creepy crawly.
I'm of course gonna advocate for pulling me into the fucking house, please.
I don't even know if I can pull you in, man. Like I'm half the
Dimension
size.
door. Do you not have dimension door, bro?
Well,
But it's not his turn.
not my turn. You're gonna fucking tail whip me down to 1 action again.
They could like lend you an action.
Okay, so if I
Can I
So,
lend him mine?
what's what would it take for me to pull him in, Mary?
Do you not have that telekinetic pull thing?
Oh,
Why-
so
you're already beside
it would take a DC 20
He's willing.
23 performance. Yeah, he is willing, so DC 18 performance to lull him in with the sounds of Taylor Swift.
Okay, that's easy.
But
'cause
you'll have
my
to sing it though.
What song do you want to hear?
I mean, that's what's gonna lure Vega. That's not what I want to hear. That's what will lure Vega into the house in a trance-like state.
I don't know. Choose a song.
Looks like you
'Cause,
don't. Looks like you don't want to help you that bad, man.
Okay, so my performance is 21 with my bonuses. So I mean, I don't need to roll.
I mean, yeah, you just need to. I mean, it don't gotta be Taylor, man. It's gotta be something alluring, though. How would you siren song him? That's what you got to come up with right now.
Come inside, baby, or you'll die. Hurry, hurry, up, go. There you go.
Vega lifts off his feet and floats into the house.
Okay,
Original, I love it.
Gonna be on my debut album. Then I'll do a.
Your Inspired Courage is expired, by the way. I just noticed. I took it off everybody.
Oh, okay,
'Cause
so
it was expired already. I just took
Oh,
it
it's
off.
expired already. I'll cast it again with Lingering Composition. So I'll roll performance.
That is a failure.
The failure? Okay, well, that's a hero point. Shit. Why is it so slow?
Yeah, it is kind of laggy. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. I guess just so many characters or something. I don't know. Or we've been at it a minute. I don't know. All right, that is a success.
Okay. Then for my final action, I will do a performance demoralize on the spider. I'm just gonna hit random notes on my lute and hit the strings really hard.
Okay. Here, I'm gonna refresh the music. Maybe that'll help too. That is a critical for sure.
Yeah,
I
let's
don't even
go.
need to look. So he is frightened by that sequence of notes, whatever they were. Or perhaps it was the singing just a moment ago. We'll never know. Alright, and that's it for you, yeah?
Yeah.
So this creature is now fully aware that you have all run into the house, and it comes right up to the door, stomping and snorting. It is definitely blocking the door now. And let me make sure it can still do that. Yeah. And it is just, like I say, it is pounding at the door, trying to break in, trying to get in. And it... let's see. Oh, no, that's not what it is. Hold on a second. There he goes. Cracks its tail. So, yeah. I think it's right in front of him. So, it's going to get all of you, looks like. You need to roll this little guy right here. Alright, so, unfortunately, as you are all clustered here in the front of the building and he's banging and smacking on it, he whips his tail around again and produces another little sonic blast into the building. Neji takes the worst of the sonic assault and becomes stunned 3.
Oh, fuck. You're gonna have to drag me in now.
The rest of you, or you other guys, become stunned 2.
So my turn is essentially skipped at this point.
Yeah, he's mad. He big mad. Vega.
So could I return the favor and grab Neji and just drag him with me across the room?
Well, he's inside, right? But
Yeah,
you
I just
could...
want to drag him all the way over this wall so you can't just thunder slap us again next turn.
Sure. Well, I didn't do shit. It's this thing,
Well,
bro.
you're a monster.
I didn't do shit.
It's the Mukala Mumbe.
Yeah, you're just the
I mean, yeah, I would let
size
you.
of you.
I would, since he's smaller than you, I would let you just, as a action, pull him across the room. Sure.
Okay. Oh,
Does stun go down a level each round?
each action. So then I'll pull you over with me here.
So it's basically it's over after your turn.
I'll drag Neji with me right beside me over here. Then we'll that's the end of my turn.
That's it.
That's my one action.
All right, Drez. You have one action.
The only thing I can do is also move to that side of the room to avoid more tail swipe bullshit.
All right, the spider, sensing some dynamic has changed here, he runs over here and he tries to hit Neji first with his leg. And then he tries to hit Vega with his leg. So, having connected with Neji, doing 13 damage. Ooh. He also pushes you down to the ground and knocks you prone.
Not
And
like it really
that's-
matters. I can't do anything anyways.
And that's his turn. Well, right. He can't even get up. So, Sir Durwin, you are still unconscious. No one has come to your rescue, so sorry.
Yeah. Only question is barbarian or druid?
I mean,
Barbarian.
you're not dying. Nothing's out there
I
really
know.
to get you. You're just chilling.
I'm just joking.
Neji, you are stunned and prone, so there's nothing
Can't
you
do
can
shit.
do. This thing, however, let's see. Let me get you back.
Actually, Mary, well, one thing I can do is I'll delay till after the dinosaur.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
All
it.
right. So this thing, oh, she should have lost that last turn. This thing is just standing at the front of the building, kind of still frustrated. And it walks. Ooh, it walks away from the door, frustrated. And you hear it kind of thundering around the perimeter of the building. And you hear it kind of curiously, probing, punching, bumping into the building all around. And then it kind of quiets down, but you still hear it snorting angrily outside. And then Neji, Vega.
All right.
So would I be at stun 2 now after my turn, or how does
You
how does
would-
stun work?
You take off 1 action per stun level, so you just miss all 3 actions, and your next turn you're back to normal.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm right next-
basically you reduce your stun value by the number of actions you lost. So you lost 2, so you reduce your stun value by 2. So you're back to not being stunned.
Sorry, I'm just taking a quick look at my spell here. I want to do Vampiric Touch, I guess. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, can I do my Intimidating Glare first?
Yeah, you just want to demoralize it with your look. Sure. So it is frightened by your looks.
And then I will do the Vampiric Touch, which is a DC 25 Fortitude.
So you reach out with a decrepit hand and you touch this thing. Roll your damage.
Oh my god. 4 1s and a 2.
That's horrible.
And you hit him for 15 negative damage. Was that returned to you as heals? Or
It
temporary?
returns to me as temporary hit points.
So you feel a
Oh,
surge of energy
I'm gonna do that.
as you get 15 hit points.
And that'll be all 3 of my actions.
Drez.
You're set up for a crit, man. Do it.
Hey, you've had a turn since stun. You shouldn't be stunned. There you go.
All right, let me see here. All right, I am going to move over here. Target the spider and attack.
Nice.
All right, what'd you attack with? How'd you attack?
I stuck a dagger someplace he didn't want it.
Fair enough.
It's web hole.
Oh, and then you cause it to begin bleeding. Sickly spider blood all over the floor.
And I will try to repeat that again with my last action.
Damn.
How did you hit it this time?
This time, I stuck the dagger somewhere it really, really didn't want it to go.
Okay.
Right in the penis.
Spider penis? Just learned about this. Alright, so it begins bleeding more profusely and is wounded quite severely. Its jittering almost stopped. It turns its focus to the other side, and it lifts up on its back legs and lets loose a barrage of its legs. Drez, roll that reflex save. So you critically succeed, taking none of the spider's potential 16 damage, and it is infuriated and tries to bite you. You nimbly dodge out of the way of that strike as well, and you leave this thing wounded and frustrated. Sir Durwin moans from outside the cabin, and you all wish that you could help him, or you don't, because
What the fuck kind of dream is he having out there?
No one has. The creature outside, you hear it stomping around, and it just seems to be now wandering 6 around. It has walked up to, for those of you inside, it has walked up to Durwin's seemingly lifeless body and stuck its nose down, sniffing at him. Let's see. There we go. Now it's facing the right way.
Is it about to eat him?
And that is all its actions, to move over there and start sniffing.
Kind of looks like it.
Okay. Should I just res Logan at this point? He'll have a chance to run if I res him.
I worry what that thing's about to start doing on its next turn, so it
know,
might be a
right?
good
Yeah,
idea.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. So I'll 15. What's the range on Soothe?
Probably 30 feet. I don't know, though.
30 feet. Fuck.
Is it 30 feet?
Yeah, it is.
30.
I can't reach him. I can't reach him. Well, I will prepare to reach him. So I'll see. 20. So I'll go here.
Make yourself invisible to go out there too.
I can't. I don't have any more spell slots for that. So I still have range on this spider, so I'm gonna shoot it with an electric arc for my last 2 actions.
Okay. You can do it. It's a 2 cost, or
Yeah, it's 2 actions.
roll that beautiful beam footage. So, already frightened, this spider stood little chance to dodge this electric assault, and it falls to the ground lifeless, electricity surging through its shell, its exoskeleton. And with that, Vega.
Alright. I guess I've got to get out there and see this thing if I want to do anything to it, right?
Hey man, it's a free Golarian. You don't got to do shit.
Who's gonna try to ride it?
At this point, we could just leave Logan. Run away. Just kidding.
Oh, you are still prone, Neji. You never stood up, bro.
Well, shit.
He can crawl while he's can he crawl while he's prone?
You can crawl. I don't know if you're supposed to move half speed. Yeah, you move. Yeah,
in
you
that
can
case,
crawl. You can crawl,
I guess,
but you only
I'm
move
like here.
5 feet for one
I guess
action.
I'm like here then, right? I guess I'm like here, right? Basically.
Yeah, you would have only moved 5 feet.
Okay.
Well, but you did shoot that thing with an electric, but you could do that prone. So
Yeah. I have use of my hands and my,
yeah.
while I'm prone.
All right, so that out of the way, Vega.
I want to do a wall of fire, and I want to have it running right along where the edge is right now. But it's going to be a 10-foot radius, so just like that. It's running through him, and it's not touching Sir Durwin. And then he takes 4d6 of fire damage at the start of his turn.
Okay, you have to be able to see that though.
Yeah, sorry. The first one is going to be to move to the door and just peek out.
I was about to say. I mean, because you definitely know that area though, but you are inside at the moment.
Yeah, I assume I should have to see it. Sorry, I gotta click the right damn.
I can't even heal Logan on my next turn either, because I have to get up.
And is the M material? Are you supposed to have something for that? It has a material component. I was just saying, what is that supposed to be? Just to have something for that to cast it?
I don't know.
I'll look it up later. We'll figure it out. I mean, it's probably something you're supposed to have like on you anyway, like in a pouch or something, like
a component pouch.
Yeah.
Do you have a component pouch?
Well, and
If you have a component pouch, you're good.
Yeah, I think they simplified it in 2E because 1 does like 3.5, where you got to have like specific, like a diamond or diamond.
It basically
Yeah.
says that except in extreme circumstances, you can assume all common components are included in the material component pouch.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So
4d6 fire damage. And then objects on the outside of it are concealed to him. And that's just the start of his turn, so.
what's at the start of his turn? He
takes
the
his
damage
at the start of his turn, and then if he moves through the wall, he takes it again.
Got you. So he doesn't take that until the top of the
Take it
round.
until his turn, yeah.
Got you. So Drez.
Okay, the first thing I want to do is hide.
Okay, you can do that. easily. Let's see how. Alright, you are doing Heidi stuff.
Alright, let's see. One action should get me there.
Alright, so while you stepped outside, so. Alright.
And then I'm going to take another action down to here.
Okay. Fair enough. So Sir Durwin just continues to moan at the start of this thing's turn. It takes that damage, and then you said if it moves through it, it just takes it again. Does it have to do anything to move through it?
No, it can just walk through it, but it'll take an extra 4d6 of fire damage.
Oh, but I see it's concealed. Everything is concealed to it. I got you. So he does move through it. Enraged by it, he steps over and tramples these corpses. He gets burned by the thing once more. And he gets behind Sir Durwin. He lifts up his forelegs here and he kind of puts them onto him. You're not quite sure what he's doing. As it passes to Neji, you guys want to pause it right there? Since
Yeah, we
it's
better. Gotta get
Yeah,
up
I
and
can't heal him on my turn. I have to get up and move. Fuck no. Damn it. Sorry, Logan.
He's fucking mounting me.
Well, at least you're not awake for it.
That's
I'm
true.
2 feet tall. That thing's going to destroy me.
I'll piss it off with another fireball.
There you go.